I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. There's somebody from Jos, Nigeria. Someone from Qatar. Wow. Isn't that amazing? I love it. I always have the United Nations here on my live. So Botswana, Brazil, Nigeria, lots of US, lots of Nigeria. You guys know that your dear Dr. Iyabo suffers from allergies and cough. So I have my cough drops ready. And I believe the person who asked for this topic is also on this live. I've spotted her already, but I'm not. And there's somebody from Germany. Wow. You see, the United Nations is on my live. Then there's a Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Yes, I said I spotted the person who asked for this topic, but I'm not going to point her out because I just like to keep, my followers confidential. She may not want everybody to know that she asked for this topic. So let's start. Hello from Kenya. Wow, Nairobi, Kenya in the house. Everybody welcome, welcome in, welcome. So the person who asked for this topic said she would like me, Ghana in the house. Hello, Ghana. That she would like me to talk about money management and discipline. Okay? Now, you guys know that when you ask for your topics, sometimes I kind of modify the topic because I know exactly what you want to learn. Hi, Funta, how are you? It's been a while. Hi, Funta, dear. I know what you guys want to learn about. So, money management and discipline. Okay? I'm going to say a few things and you guys can start writing. You can't manage what you don't have, and you can't manage what you don't understand. I think what is lacking in a lot of women, whether you're a professional woman, whether you only finished high school, whether you finished college, or even those of us who are really educated, the MDs and the PhDs and the MBAs, a lot of us think we're financially literate, but we're actually not financially literate. That is the problem, okay? So I want to shift that topic from money management, okay, to mind management, to money mindset management, okay, and to mind discipline. Because let me just tell you the truth. There's money everywhere. I keep telling you this, okay? I'm 53 years old. I've had my my first business for 20 years, and I've been online in this online space for 7 years. I started my coaching business 3 years ago, but I've been creating content online for 7 years. Hi, Fit Christina. How are you, dear? So I just want to make this clear to everybody now. There's no scarcity of money. It may seem like that to you if you're struggling with, lack of money, or you're struggling to pay your bills and all of that. It may seem like that to you, but actually, in all honesty, there's no scarcity of money. This is why whether there's a recession or austerity or whatever, inflation, I block my mind from all of those things. I can tell you that it was during the last recession that my practice hit 7 figures. Okay, so I don't even know when there's a recession. I don't know when there's inflation. I don't know, because I work on my mind. I don't focus on the money. I work on how my mind works for me around money. I train my brain to understand how money works. And this is lacking in, I'll say, 80 to 90% of women. I think men are a little bit more financially literate. I think it's because men are, meant to be the providers, like society and culture has created. So women from time have just kind of disconnected themselves from knowing about money or learning about money. They don't want to talk about it. They feel ashamed to focus on money. They feel ashamed to feel like they want to make money. So many women, unfortunately, are not financially literate. Even if you have a PhD or MBA, look, I have them in my DMs. I have them as coaching clients. I have them as in my DM. I have them as coaching clients. So I know that women just don't understand money. All of the choices that women make around money are really, really, disappointing and unfortunate. So It's my job and my mission and my purpose to keep on educating women about money and about love. This is why I'm the money to honey coach, right? I coach you guys about money and about your honey. And it's all a mindset thing. So I hope you're with me. The lady who asked about this topic, I know you're asking about money management. You expect me to come on here and tell you how to manage your bills and how to save money. And first of all, I don't believe in saving money. And I know that this will come as a shock to you. I don't believe in saving money. I believe in a few things. I believe in working towards passive income as much as possible, so that even when I'm taking a nap in the afternoon or I'm on vacation somewhere, I know that money is being made on my behalf, right? That is true wealth. True wealth is when you know that you have passive income where money is being made even when you are not actively working in the business. You have time freedom, right? Look at me today. I'm at home. I'm doing this live with you. It's a Friday. I don't look like I'm stressed or, anything. You have time freedom. You're able to manage your time and do whatever you wish with your time. Many people don't have that. You have freedom of choice. You can decide, okay, today I want to work 8 hours. Tomorrow I'm only going to work 1 hour. The next day I'm only going to work 3 hours. Then I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to go to Bali and I'm going to work from Bali. You have time freedom. You have freedom of choice. That is what true wealth is. Okay? So it's not about getting a paycheck of $5,000 and thinking, okay, after I pay my bills, how much can I save and put away? No. You guys, stop saving money. Okay? Many of you are looking to save money, but you don't even have a retirement fund. So you're doing all of the wrong things. You're trying to save money, but even in the job that you're at, you're not contributing to your 401k or your Roth IRA. This is where I'm saying 8 to 9 of you are not financially literate. And how can you become financially literate? You have to work with somebody who's financially literate like me. A lot of you always think, oh, I have a financial advisor. Financial advisors are great, okay? They're great, but a financial advisor is not going to give you everything you need. You need somebody who has lived the life you want to live. Somebody who has started a business, who has scaled that business to mostly passive income. I'm not saying I'm going to tell you about my situation. Not all of my income is passive. No, you can, and it's very hard to have 100% totally passive income. I'm not even sure you want that. You still want to be involved in your businesses a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to get bored. So, I have partially passive income, but I have a lot of freedom of time. I have a lot of freedom of choice. I can get up now, myself and my husband, and say we're taking a 4-week vacation and we have our laptops and we're managing our businesses, So, freedom of choice is so important. I can take a walk. This is how I'm able to walk 4 miles every day. I mean, how else can you walk 4 miles if you don't have freedom of choice? So that is true wealth, where you're investing in things like real estate, you're investing, you make sure you have a retirement fund, right? And you're investing in things that matter, not that you're working from paycheck to paycheck. So I'm going to give you a scenario of what the life of most women are. In fact, most people, right? You go to school, you finish primary and secondary school, you go to college, you strive for the best grades, you go to college. Many of you still want to keep advancing after that. You want to become a doctor like I became a doctor. You want to get an MBA or PhD. Then after that, you start looking for a job. When you get the job, you start striving for 6 figures, right? Maybe they'll start you off at 5 figures. Then you're like, okay, 75,000. Can I please get a raise to like 100,000, 120,000, 150,000, maybe max for most of you? That's if you're lucky. $150,000, that's if you're lucky. And then what kind of life do you have? At least in America, maybe you'll be lucky to get 2 weeks vacation a year or 3 weeks vacation a year. Those of you who are really, really lucky, 4 weeks vacation a year, no sick leave. Many of you during that vacation, you don't even take the vacation off to actually go on holiday to rest. Many of my doctor colleagues, during those vacations, they'll get some extra locums. Instead of going on vacation to enjoy and rest and relax and rejuvenate, they get some extra work to do during those vacations so they can earn more money. They buy some big, maybe house, mansion, somewhere they think it's a mansion in some area that may not even be very desirable, but they buy it because it's big and it has a big yard. Many doctors do that. I see them. They buy a house for, I don't know, $500,000 in some area that is not very desirable, but just because it's big, it's large, and it has a big driveway and a big this and a big that, they're like, oh yeah, I live in a mansion. I live in a big house. The house doesn't really appreciate over the years because it's not in the best area. They don't have a vacation. Many of these doctors and many of these women don't contribute to a retirement fund. Okay, they live from hand to mouth because they are paying all of their money on the mortgage of that house. They are driving their flashy cars and paying a huge car note on those flashy cars. They're probably still paying off the college loans of all of those big degrees that they got. They have children that are in private school and children who are buying this and buying that. So at the end of the day, a lot of those people have a negative net worth. And aside from the negative net worth, they are tired, they are burnt out, they don't have any time for vacation. They don't have freedom of choice. They don't have freedom of time. Their time isn't theirs. Their boss, controls their time. So, and they keep doing that year after year after year after year after year. Some of them get sick because there are some people, if you should come to Georgia and see how long some people commute. Some people commute an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half back. My husband and I met this man when we went to service our car the last time. This guy looked like he was in his 50s, but he was so tired and so burnt out. You could tell that he was probably in his 50s, but he looked like he was 80 years old because he was limping. When he sat down and told us his story, he said he commutes an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half back, and he works in a car dealership. And I'm thinking, what kind of life is that? So many of you are burnt out. Many of you work and work and work and work and work. You don't take care of yourselves. You get chronic illnesses from all of this work and lack of time freedom and lack of freedom of choice. You have to nurse yourselves. By the time you get to middle age, you are tired. You have, God forbid, I'm not saying you, but this is the reality. You have between 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 chronic illnesses that you're nursing. All of your joints are complaining. You have uncontrolled high blood pressure, uncontrolled diabetes, this, that. You are tired. So you can't even enjoy that money. You just work. Okay, yeah, you go home to some mansion somewhere in some area that is not the most desirable. Yes, people see you driving in your Mercedes-Benz or your Bentley or your whatnot. Is that really the kind of life that you aspire for? I want you guys to talk. You're really tired. Is this the kind of life most of you want? That's not the kind of life I want, and I've never wanted that kind of life. So talk to me, guys. Is that the kind of life you want, where you have no time freedom, no freedom of choice? You hardly have any vacation, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 weeks vacation. Yeah, you brag that you're living in some big house with 5 bedrooms and a big garden or whatever. Yeah, but you're hardly even there because you're working all the time. So is that the kind of life you want? You don't have time to go on vacations. You're just working. And then you don't have time for exercise. You don't have time to plan your meals. You don't sleep well. You're tired. You're burnt out. So at the end of the day, is that true wealth? Only one person has answered no. Is that really true wealth? For me, I love to travel a lot. I love my free time. I love freedom of choice. I want to be able to work some days 2 hours maybe take a long walk somewhere, have time for my husband, have time for my 4 kids. You know, it's just when you think about it, a lot of people are just on this rat race. You see, all of you are typing no, no, no. So, you know, we have to first get that right. We have to first get that right. That money is important, but it's not everything. It's what you're able to do with that money and the kind of lifestyle that that money is going to get you. You know, it's just many people wake up at 4 or 5 a.m., they get dressed, they go to work, they work, they sit down at work, or they're just stressed out at work, they come back home, especially if you look at the lifestyle of doctors. It is so bad. This is why so many doctors are not doing well. They're stressed out. Even the doctors themselves are sicker than their patients. You know, so many black doctors are overweight. I'm sorry, if you don't want me to say this, I will have to say it. Many black doctors are overweight because they eat junk food. They don't have time to exercise. They don't sleep well. A lot of them have diabetes. They have high blood pressure. There's inflammation going around. It's just not working. So 8 to 9 out of 10 of us are not doing well when it comes to money. So this is why when I saw this topic, I was happy. But I think she thought I was going to discuss, oh, money management, you have to budget. No, no, no. What I'm discussing today is the lack of financial literacy, the lack of financial education in a lot of women, black, white, Hispanic, and it doesn't matter whether you're well educated or not. In fact, I want to say that the more educated you are, the less your financial literacy. I feel like the women who sell things on the streets, and I love these women who sell things, I'm not looking down on them, like in African countries who sell things on the streets, they know how to manage their money better than we do, and they probably have more time freedom because it is their business. They take their vegetables and their goods out there to sell. Some of them will pack up and go home to meet their kids when their kids get back from school. They're there for their kids, they're there for their husband. Their time is their time. So this slave trade of what we're calling being wealthy, that is not true wealth. It is not true wealth. All of you have been commenting on here that no. Someone said, that, no, that's not wealth. Great points. Thank you. I'm not earning as much as I used to when I was a nurse, but I'm happier and healthier. Yes. It's not all about, for me, that's not the kind of life I want. Exactly. Everybody's saying I did night shifts for 16 years to raise our 3 children. I was constantly tired, burnt out, and finally had a breakdown. I had to give up nursing because of that. Yeah, there are many, at least Virginet, at least you knew to live it. Some people are losing their lives to this. Nurses and doctors and dentists, the suicide rate is so high. The burnout rate, the stress is so high. Many are taking their lives. Many are having mental breakdowns. So I want to say that there's no time like the time we live in. Okay, are you guys listening? Are you all with me? There's no time like the time we live in. There's so many opportunities now for passive income. There's so many opportunities now for you to have your laptop, your phone, and be able to make money. Are you guys listening? That's the first lesson I want you to write down. We're in a time like no other. Many of you women just need to wake up, train your brain, and get all of these falsehoods out of your brain, because many of you women still feel like earning money online is fake. There are many of my doctor women out there who are still living in the Stone Age. I'm 53 years old. Some of you are younger than me, and you're still living in the Stone Age. Many of you still feel like, oh, all these people say they earn money from YouTube or social media. It's all a lie. It's all fake. It's just a trend. It's going to pass away. What is wrong with you women? You know, what is wrong with you women? Why are you so rigid? Why is it so hard for you to change and wake up to what the times are saying? It is not fake. It is not false. Okay? I earn money from social media, and I can tell you, people pay me $25,000 to coach them for 8 weeks. $4,000 for 1 week to coach them. How is that fake? Okay, if you think everybody is fake, do you think I'm fake that I'm telling you lies? I don't have time to tell lies at my age. You know, I don't earn a lot from YouTube. In a month, maybe I'll earn anywhere from $20 to $100. I don't earn a lot on YouTube, but there are people on YouTube who earn, you guys know, 10,000, 100,000 a month. We're living in an era like no other, okay? And the pandemic should have taught us that this digital space that we're in, most of us are not making use of it. And you guys hide behind the silliest and the flimsiest excuses. I don't like how my voice sounds. I don't like how my nose looks on social media. I don't like the way I wave my hands on social media. You guys are so self-conscious, and you're leaving dollars on the table. You know, God has gifted us with a time like no other, where, you know, even for me, when I started my first business 20 years ago, I remember how much money I spent for that business, because then there was not this, you know, this digital business, whatnot. You couldn't just come on. I think a few people were doing it, but it wasn't as popular as now. I had to spend a lot of money to get the space, to do the build out. I didn't even have a website for many years. So everything was like offline and in person, and it cost a lot more to set up a business. But look at us now. You know, I started a coaching business in 2020 with my laptop and nothing else. And I come on to create content, and women pay me for coaching. I can't say it's easy. There's nothing good in life that comes easily. It's not easy. But we're living in a time like no other, and 90% of you are still too rigid to accept the fact that you can make tons of money in this digital space. I need you people to wake up, okay? Many of you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and you're still living in the Stone Age. You're still living in the Stone Age. You still don't want to accept this fact that there's money to be made online. There is a lot of money to be made online. Now, what is true wealth? Okay, true wealth is not about getting a paycheck every month or getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, working, getting burnt out, getting tired, getting chronic illnesses from the work, hating your job, hating your co-workers, hating the work you do, working, paying your bills, looking for some small amount to save in your savings account. What are you saving money for? What is the percentage interest that you get on your savings account? Okay? All of you women that are asking, so how can I manage my money? How can I save money? What are you saving money for? That money you're saving, you should be investing it. You should be looking for ways to compound that money. The simplest thing you can even do is start a retirement account. Are you contributing to your company's retirement account? 90% of you that I ask don't even know what that is. Doctors, lawyers, professionals, black women, you are not contributing to your retirement account. You are not making your money work for you. Okay, let's even talk in simple terms. Are you contributing to your company's retirement account? And is your company matching you by 4 or 6%? Do you know that me at 53 years old now, I have 7 figures in my retirement account because I've been contributing to it since my 20s? It's not like I'm ever going to retire. I'm not like those people who work, then at 62 they retire. My life will just be starting at 62. I'll still be coaching, I'll still be inspiring and helping women, I'll still be speaking. Because for me, it's not work, it's my passion, it's my mission. But I know that in my 60s, I have 7 figures in my retirement account that I can get. This is aside from other net worth that I have. So, instead of looking for, let me pay my bill and pay this and pay school fees, then save this money, what are you saving for? Your savings account has barely no interest. Take that money and invest it in a retirement account. Let your company match it. Then what else can you invest in? Okay? You need to invest to improve your financial development, your self-development, to pay a coach to help you. Every time I talk about coaches, you guys withdraw, okay? But that is the way to go. If you don't pay somebody who has been where you want to go to teach you how to get there, you're going to forever be doing the same thing. And you guys know what that means, right? The definition of somebody doing the same thing and getting the same results. I don't want to say what it means because, I don't want to say what it means because it's kind of rude. But if you're doing the same things, you're going to get the same results. So that money you're thinking of saving, you need to invest it. You need to make your money work for you. Now, true wealth, okay? True wealth is having mostly passive income, okay? Again, 100% passive income is very, very hard. And like I even said, I'm not even sure it's desirable because you're still going to want to have a little bit of a foot in the door. Because if you set up a business and you hire people and they're working for you, or you have some kind of business that you're not, hands-on, you still have to supervise it a bit. So true wealth is partially passive income or mostly passive income, freedom of time, okay? If your boss is controlling your time and is controlling your schedule and you're burning out and you don't have a say in your time, you don't have true wealth. You can have $10 billion. If you don't have freedom of time and freedom of choice, you are not wealthy. Because at the end of the day, you're going to use all that money to nurse disease and to nurse illness. Because you will not be sleeping well, you will be stressed out, you will be burnt out, you will not be healthy. So at the end of the day, all of that, you can use that 10 billion to buy the flashiest car and the biggest house. You're not wealthy if you don't feel well. You're not wealthy if you're not happy, if you're not at peace, if you can't exercise, if you don't have time to go on vacation. Again, maybe some of you don't like traveling. For me, that's what I spend most of my money on. I love to travel. For me, that's self-care, that's rejuvenation time. I love to see countries. I love to see the world. I love to meet new people. I love to travel, So, if you can earn all of the money in the world, but if you're commuting 2 hours to work, you're tired, you're burnt out, you're irritable, you don't have any freedom of time, you don't have any freedom of choice, you're not wealthy. That's not wealthy. Okay? That's not wealthy. So you guys have to now shift your mindset from all the way that you guys think about money. So it is not money that you need to manage. It is your mind you need to manage. So the person who asked me for this topic, I'm changing the topic from money management to mind management because there's money everywhere. Even in a recession, even when there's austerity, even when there's inflation, there's money everywhere. But what women need is a tweak and a change in the way they think about money. Many women don't know, and it is because of the way we were raised and because of what we were taught. I was blessed and lucky. I was born into a family of both entrepreneurs, and the way they dealt with money was wonderful. So this is where I learned all of this from, and I've read a lot of books. I've done it in my own life too. So have you guys written it down? True wealth is mostly passive income, freedom of choice, and freedom of time. If I can't choose what I want to do with my time, I don't believe I'm wealthy. If I don't feel like, okay, I can take a walk outside whenever I want to take a walk, I can travel wherever I want for as long as I want, as long as I have my laptop and managing my businesses from wherever I want. If I can take 6 weeks vacation as long as I have my laptop, because what you guys call wealth is not wealth. Many of you have money, but your lifestyle is terrible. So what's the point of the money? It's like, I look at all these doctors and I shake my head and I'm like, what kind of life is that? The suicide rate is so high. They're burnt out. They're not happy. Nurses are working, you see. And then there's this new travel nurse thing that nurses are doing now. And that is even worse. because they travel, they go to one state for 1 week, another state for 3 weeks. They're traveling here, there. They're staying in hotels or staying in the hospital. They're gaining weight. Nurses and doctors, especially black nurses and doctors, female, they are gaining weight at extraordinary rates like before because they're stressed out. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not sleeping. Okay, but then you drive a Mercedes-Benz or you drive a Bentley. Who cares? You know, you drive a Mercedes-Benz or a Bentley, you buy some big mansion in some zip code that is not even desirable. Many doctors, like I said in the beginning, they say they're living in a big house, but if you look at the area they bought the big house in, I'm sorry, I won't live there. I would rather go and rent a flat in a nice area. Because so, you know, your lifestyle. So this is not about managing money. It's about managing your mind, managing what you know about money. And many of you don't understand money. So you have to hire and learn from somebody who understands money and who understands what financial literacy is, what financial education is. You can't tell me you're wealthy when you're driving a Bentley, you live in some big mansion in some nonsense zip code, but you don't have a retirement fund? What kind of wealthy is that? That's not wealthy. You know, or I ask you, when was your last vacation? When was the last time you traveled somewhere? Maybe 5 years ago. No, guys, let's do a shift, okay? Again, I repeat, if you don't have freedom of choice and you don't have freedom of time and you don't have time to take care of your health and you don't have time for your family and your children, you are not wealthy. That is not true wealth. Now, let's talk about how we're going to get true wealth, okay? Nothing good in life comes easily. Okay? Nothing good comes easily. Okay, I'm 53 years old today. I have a business that I started 20 years ago, which I have mostly staff who work for me, and I manage it and all of that, and I have a lot of freedom of choice and freedom of time. And I've built the practice to the point where even if I sold it, I would sell it for a good 7 figures. You know, we have a house that the house itself is also, net worth 7 figures, all of that. Time, freedom of choice. And I've been enjoying this probably since my 40s, right? I started the business at age 32. Let me tell you what the secret sauce is. And if you read really good financial books, they will explain this to you, okay? It is not about what is your 20-year plan or what is your 30-year plan. If you want to get, are you guys listening? Are you attentive? Tell me yes, because this is probably the most important part of this live I want to say now. Are you guys awake? If you're awake, type yes, because I don't want you guys to miss this part. Okay? Before I say this part, type yes. I want about 5 or 10 of you to type yes. Are you in class? Guys, are you awake? Okay, I see 2 yeses. Who else is awake? Is everybody awake in class? If you were sleeping, wake up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6 yeses. Okay. The secret sauce to getting partial passive income is to tell yourself that you're going to work really, 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 really hard for a few years. Okay? You're going to be super hyper focused. You're going to put all of your all into it. You're going to pay somebody who has done that thing to help you. You're going to work really, really hard. You're going to go all the way into that business in order to build it up to the point where you can now start having passive income from it. Okay, rather than that is the way to have passive income. You're going to work hard. It's not easy. Again, I'm not telling you sell a course. Okay, a lot of people, when they're talking about passive income, they're talking about sell some course, some $50 course. Yes, some people make millions from there, but it's the minority of people. Okay, so you are going to promise yourself that you're going to work really, really hard for a minimum of 2 to 7 years, really, really hard, and build that business up to the point where it becomes a passive business for you. Okay, and I'm going to go into that. That is how to have passive income and to develop true wealth. Rather than this old thing where we finish school, we finish college, then we want to get a job where we work, and then retire at age 62. By the time we're retired, we're sick, we're burnt out, we don't have any money. Our relationships are not doing well. Our children, we even hardly had any time with them. All of the places we wanted to travel to, we couldn't travel to them because we didn't have any money, we didn't have any time. We're totally tired and exhausted with like 3 to 6 chronic illnesses because we didn't have time to take care of ourselves. So many of us won't even have a retirement fund. Then we retire at 62. Then what? You want to enjoy your life at 62 when you're sick, you're burnt out, you're 62, but you look like you're 80 years old, you're tired, you're dejected. No. That kind of lifestyle is not working. Okay? This lifestyle, and like I said, you can go to Dave Ramsey's book, you can go to Dave Ramsey's website, you can go to this book I'm reading right now, Don't Start a Side Hustle. This is also a wonderful book that describes this. So you're going to and I did this in my life, so I know. You're going to work really, really hard, really diligently, super disciplined. You're going to train this brain and this mindset that I'm going to start this business. I'm going to do my all to build it up. If this is what you want to do, though, if you're somebody who just wants to retire to some countryside and live on $20,000, that's fine. I'm talking about most of my community, what you guys want. I'm not talking of a life coach, a business coach. A life coach can't teach you how to make money. Okay? So a life coach can't teach you life coaches don't teach you how to make money, a business coach. So I'm not talking about coaching right here, please. I think somebody's getting confused. Stay with me here. Whatever kind of business you want to do, you're going to put in your all to develop and grow that business for the first 2 to 7 years. You're going to scale it. You're going to hire staff to manage it. That business is going to be bringing in money for you. Then you are going to scale back, right, on that business because you have systems in the business. You have repeated cycles in the business. You know how to make money from it. You know how to make profit from it. You have staff that are helping you with the business. In fact, some people build up their businesses through like second, fifth, seventh year, and that business is so lucrative that they sell it for millions of dollars. You guys know of those, right? Some of them don't even just turn it into a passive business. They actually sell it, for a lot of money within that time. So that's how to have a good life, not the good life where you're working every single day from the time you graduate college, from age 23 or age 25, bye love. From age 23 or age 25, you work every day. You burn out, you develop diseases, you're tired, that is not the way to live. You commit yourself to a certain business model for several years where you're going to build up that business, you're going to scale it, and then once you've built it up, you're able to hire staff, you've created a diligent team, then you have freedom of choice, you have time freedom. I mean, look at all of those millionaires and billionaires out there. That's what they've done. Right? You see them. That's what they've done. And then your money will keep on multiplying. It will keep on compounding. Then once you've done that, created that business and scaled it, you'll probably be then much easier for you to go into other businesses as passive income and invest in other businesses. That's how you do it. Okay? You're going to commit yourself hyper-focused to a certain business and you're going to know that between 2 to 7 years, I'm going to be hands-on in this business. I'm going to be actively working in this business, scaling it up. I'm going to hire the best business coach like Dr. Iyabo, who knows what she's talking about. She's going to help me. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going and doing what she tells me. This business is going to grow. Then you get it to a point where you don't have to be hands-on on it all the time, because you now have repeated systems, a repeated cycle. You know what to do in the business. Now, my example in real life, at age 32, you guys know, I got a loan of $350,000. I took that big bet on myself. I started my pediatric practice. I did exactly this. I worked hard, diligently. I was seeing patients every day, marketing this practice. It took me a few years to hire the first doctor. I hired the first doctor. My profits went from down here to up there, because as soon as I hired the first doctor, I was able to reduce my time. I hired the second doctor. The second year after that, my profits shot up, because I was able to really reduce to part-time and, manage the practice well, supervise these doctors, supervise all my staff. My team kept growing from 5 to 10 to 12. I've never had more than 12 staff, though, the doctors, nurse practitioners, and support staff. So I worked diligently in that practice. I marketed it. I created a name for myself. I created a brand for myself in that area. If you go to the part of Decatur where my practice is, everybody knows Dr. O, Dr. O, Dr. O. They all know me. All the patients there know me. All the refugee associations refer to us. All of them. Everybody, the pharmacists, they all know me in that area. I created a brand for me, for myself. I created a brand for myself in that area. Then, by year 7, the revenue had hit 7 figures, and I already had repeated systems, repeated cycle. So I knew my practice inside out. If nobody showed up to work, I would be able to do everything. I would be able to check in the patients and do everything from start to finish. I knew how my practice ran. I had a formidable team. Then I was able to make it a partially passive income. I didn't have to be there all the time. I had to, thank you guys. You don't have to tell me good job. I'm trying to help you. Don't tell me good job, but thank you. I appreciate the good words. So you can see now how I started a business at age 32. By the time I was 40, 41, I had a mostly passive income. And this is even from a business that was brick and mortar. That's why it took that long. These days in the digital world, it doesn't even take that long. It doesn't take that long, but I hyper-focused on it. And then once I was able to hire staff and build it up to a certain place, then I was able to travel the world with my daughters. In the summer, we would go traveling for the whole summer, Europe, just tour, stay in the best luxurious places. It was nice. And then I started my coaching business. Well, before even the coaching, I started writing books. In 2015, after my dad passed, I spoke at the United. Then I went into my creative business. It was easy for me to start my creative business. I started writing books. I started blogging. I started speaking. I spoke at the United Nations 3 times. Then I went from there to my coaching business, creating content. And then, my coaching business also scaled to 6 figures in just 9 months, because everything I had learned from my pediatric practice, I brought all of those skills and those strategies, and I used them in my coaching business. And so this is why it was easy for me to scale my coaching business, because I was already very, very good with business skills. So my coaching business is 6 figures. My pediatric practice is 7 figures. I have my books, my book that brings in a little bit of money from Amazon, a little bit of money from my YouTube videos, Instagram, whenever they feel like paying for reels and whatever, I get a little bit of money from that as well. I get money from speaking gigs. So guys, and I also work with Flow Health. Then out of all this, the biggest women's wellness app, Flow Health, also hired me. They found me on LinkedIn. They saw one of my posts on LinkedIn about 3-4 years ago. They hired me. I write articles for Flow Health. I edit articles for them, and they pay me a lot of money per hour for that. So I have about 7 income streams. 2 of them are my biggest income streams. So this is how to build wealth. All of you that are running after all of the degrees, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college. College is still very important, but there has to be a stop point. Some of you get 3 MBAs or 3 masters, you get 2 PhDs, you still don't feel you're good enough. So I'm going to answer your questions in a second, but you guys now understand what passive income is. So it's not about money management. I guess maybe, but the problem here is financial literacy. Many of you women just don't know how to make money. You just don't know what works. You don't know how to make money and still have a good life. You don't understand that working every day and trying to save money is a waste of time. You're just going to be tired, burnt out. At the end of the day, you still won't be happy. You still won't have the money. And it's just like you'll wake up at 70 years old and you'll think to yourself, I basically worked my entire life. You don't want that, okay? You don't want that. So let me start looking at your questions. I told you guys to type your questions in the question bubble, okay? Yes, hoping this will relate to those without 6-figure income. What do you mean by that? Hoping this will relate to those without. This is for everybody. This is not whether you have 6-figure income or 5-figure income or 10-figure income. What I'm saying on here is for everybody, okay? The rat race of being employed and work. Again, not everybody can start a business. I'm not saying that everybody should. If you're happy your 9 to 5, keep your 9 to 5. Not everybody was created to have a business, but if you're interested in the business world, this is what works, okay? You're going to hyper-focus diligently on that business so that you're able to convert that active business or active income to passive income within about 2 to 7 years. It took me about 7-8 years to change my active income from my pediatric practice to mostly passive income. Again, it's not 100% passive. It's my business, so I still have to be hands-on. I still have to know what's going on, but I can do it remotely. I can manage my practice remotely, especially now that we have EHR. You know, I can manage my practice remotely. I can travel as much as I want. My time is mine because I own the business and I can manage it from wherever. So the first question is, when do you know or that gut feeling to take the next step, i.e. the big jump from day to day? Oh, the time you know that you should do it is now. Okay? All of you who are on this live or who are watching the replay, if you're listening to me now and you're like, Dr. Iyabo is talking to me, now is the time to take that big jump, because the most precious commodity we have in life, the most precious resource, I posted this quote on my page yesterday by Steve Jobs. I think he said, the most precious resource we have is time. Don't waste your time. Time is more important than money. The time you need to make that big jump is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not in 6 weeks' time. You guys plan, procrastinate. If I fast forward 20, 30 years, all of you will still be in the same situation. So the answer to that question is, when do you know when to make the big jump? You make the big jump now because it's already on your mind. What are you waiting for? Thinking about something is not going to bring you results. Action is what brings you results. Okay? Thinking about something for the next 20 years is not going to bring you any results. Having a gut feeling for the next 6 months is not going to bring you results. What is going to make you results is movement. You have to move, you have to act, you have to be disciplined, you have to do what you need to do. And if you don't know what to do, you hire a coach. That is what I'm there for. I've repeated to you guys over and over. In my 30s to early 40s, I spent over $250,000, over $250,000 on coaches and consultants and experts to help me. Okay? So when do you know when to take the next big step? It is now, because it's in your mind. You're thinking about it for a reason. Okay? Somebody says, thank you so much for this, doctor. If one is already running an online business solo, what should... you didn't finish your question, Rahina. Sorry, guys. My allergies have been acting up. Rahina, your question is not complete, so please type it again. It's okay, guys. Don't worry about me. I have water. It's just my allergist has told me over and over to get allergy shots, and I don't want allergy shots. I don't want allergy shots, but I have really bad allergies. Rahina, your question was incomplete. Okay? Your question was incomplete, so please type it again. Somebody asked, how do you monitor your different income streams? Oh my goodness. I love that question. You know why? Because many people are so bad at monitoring their money. How won't you monitor your different income streams? You have to get organized. You have to get organized. And you have to hire a CPA. When you have money coming in and you have businesses, you have to have a qualified CPA helping you, and you have to get organized. Whether it's that you're going to have all sorts of, what do you call them? The word is, on your computer, what are the tables you have? You have to get organized. If you wake me up at 3 a.m. and you ask me about all of my money, I know what it is. I know how much everything costs in my pediatric practice, how much each staff earns, how much I pay for the rent, how much I pay the water bill, the electricity bill, vaccines, medical supplies. I know how much my coaching is bringing in. I know my money. I know my numbers. You have to get organized. The person that asked that question. It's your money, it's your business. You have to get organized. Spreadsheets, yeah. You use spreadsheets, you get some kind of app. There's so many ways to be able to monitor your money. You use your, there's so many, I'm blanking out on them now. And you make sure you have a CPA. It's not that hard. You have to know your money. You have to know what is going in, what's coming out. You have to be responsible with your money. You have to know your numbers. Many of you just start businesses and you don't know your numbers. That's a disaster. You're just spending all of your profits. You make money, you spend it. You don't know what you're spending it on. You don't know that you have to reinvest the money to grow the business, to hire more staff. That's a problem. This is why many of you need coaches. This is why you need my business coaching, because these are all of the things I teach in my business coaching. Because if you have a business and you don't understand your money, you don't understand how to keep up with all of your income streams, you are in big trouble. Okay? Someone asked, how did you release your money blocks if you had any? I didn't have any money blocks. What kind of money blocks? I didn't have any money blocks. I don't think I did, but I learned a lot of money habits from my mom and dad, and they were very, very successful at business, very successful at having passive income because they owned a lot of real estate that they enjoyed passive income from. A lot of their businesses, they had people that worked for them. So they had freedom of time, they had freedom of choice, and I replicated everything that I learned from them. And when I was going to start my medical business, I hired coaches who were good with the medical business to coach me. So maybe I did have money blocks, and maybe Those coaches that I hired help me remove and release my money blocks. The thing is, women, if you want good things in life, you cannot achieve them on your own. Okay? I have said this over and over. You cannot achieve good things and big things on your own. You need to ask for help, because you don't know what you don't know until you're told what you don't know. Write that down. Okay? I see this all the time with you guys. You don't know what you don't know until you're told what you don't know. Write that down. You may think you know a lot until an expert comes to you and tells you ABC, and then you're like, what? I've never even heard of that. Well, that's why you need an expert. And experienced and qualified experts like myself don't come cheap. So if you still want to keep hiring coaches that you're paying $500 an hour or $100 an hour, there you go. You're going to get what you pay. But if you want somebody to teach, if you admire somebody where they are, you want them to teach you how they got there, you have to be ready to pay them. My coaching is not cheap because of that, because I have the whole business model, how to run all businesses in my head, whether it's online or offline. I'm very, very, very good at business. So this is why you need my coaching. Let me see. Rahina, you didn't complete your question though. Buki says, how do I know the right business to invest in? Very good question. Very good question. I would say the first thing is just decide and know that it is best to start an online business. Okay? Because like I said in the beginning of this live, there's so much money to be made online. Okay? Going to start up a business offline now, really, you're going to spend a lot of money to set up the business. You're going to have to borrow a ton of money. The online space, most of the time, you just need your devices and you need yourself. The kind of business for me that is the easiest and simplest model is to teach what you know. But the problem with that is many of you are too self-conscious to show up online like I'm doing. Okay? So to answer your question, the type of business to invest in to start is an online business. Now you have to decide, what do I want to do online? The simplest model is to teach what you know. To hire a coach like myself to help you figure out your best gifts and talents, because everyone has them. Don't tell me you don't have any gift or talent you can teach. Let the coach help you figure out your best gifts and talents to curate that into an online coaching business for you, whether it's group, whether it's one-on-one, and you start from there. And when you first start, you're going to work really, really hard. You're going to be consistent. You're going to show up like I'm doing. You're going to create content. You're going to build a community. You're going to build trust. You're going to build a formidable brand. Because until you build that brand, nobody's going to pay you high dollars. You have to have a really good brand before you can charge high ticket. Many of you want to charge high ticket, but I look at your brands and I'm like, what are they doing? You know, you have to spend money on a qualified coach who's going to teach you how to have a strong brand. And that can take anywhere from 6 months to 5 years. So this is why I'm saying you have to commit to the first 2 to 7 years of working diligently on any business you start, to lift that business up, to elevate it, to become known, to create a system, to hire staff. And then after that, you can start to scale back. Because once you've created a brand, you're coaching people, people know you, they know your name, they know you, they trust you. Then you can start bringing in group coaches that you will train, that will be good, that they can start coaching on your behalf. And then you create a partially or even, 99% passive business. That is what it is. So I hope I answered your question. There are many other online businesses to have. And then in between that, while you're creating content, you're monetizing your Instagram, I'm teaching you how to start a YouTube channel. You're also monetizing your YouTube. You're probably writing 1 or 2 books. You know, you're speaking. So just from creating that online coaching business, you see how you can have 3 or 4 other income streams, because you're going to try to monetize your Instagram if they're paying for reels or whatever. It's chicken change, but you can at least use it to buy gas or to buy groceries. But if you're lucky, your YouTube channel could explode and you could do really well. You can write a book or 2, or you can write an ebook, and then you start speaking. Because when you're creating your brand, you're practicing teaching. You're going to become really good at speaking, like I am. People will start to come to you to pay you money for speaking, and you're also charging, you know, for your coaching. So I hope I answered your question, but that is the simplest model, okay? Someone says, what about if you work in professional services, i.e. for someone else? What do you mean? Maybe you came late, but in the very beginning of this live, I talked about work on the rat race. Again, starting a business is not for everybody. If you love your 9 to 5, keep your 9 to 5. But many of you don't love your 9 to 5. You hate your 9 to 5. You want passive income. And that's what I'm teaching you today. That how do you develop passive income? Passive income has to first be started as active income. Nobody starts passive income from day one as passive income. Look at the Spanx lady for one. When she started Spanx, she was selling fax machines, going from door to door. She hustled. She went from door to door. She cleared out her savings account to start the business. She worked hard in the Spanx business year after year after year. Then she grew. Then she built it into a multi-million-dollar business. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar business. And I think she even finally just sold it to her CEO or somebody. But this is how you do it. You're going to start an active business where you're hands-on for a few years. You're going to be hyper-focused, super focused. You're going to build up that business diligently. Then once you've built it up to a certain stage, which takes anywhere from 2 to 7 years, and you have formidable staff, you have good management, you have repeated processes, you can then scale back, right? And then you can start to enjoy passive income because you've built a business that can be managed without you. You can start to have freedom of choice, freedom of time, you know, rather than planning your whole life where you work from age 23 until you're 62. And then you retire at 62. By the time you retire at 62, you can't even enjoy the money. All your joints would have given way. You will be so tired and so burnt out from all the rat race, commuting back and forth, tired, not taking care of your health. 3 or 4 or 6 chronic diseases would have cropped up. What kind of life is that? From between age 23 to 60 something, you didn't have time to travel. You didn't have time to do the fun things you always wanted to do. That is not true wealth. That is what we call in Nigeria sufferhead. Okay? I don't care if you're driving the best Bentley or living in a mansion. That's still sufferhead because that is not the way to live. Okay? So I hope this helped. Somebody said, you don't know what you don't know until you're told what you don't know. Yes, profound. It's profound. And many of you are in that situation. You don't know what you don't know until a professional or an expert like myself points it out to you. And this is why I'm the money to honey coach, because when it comes to money and when it comes to love and relationships, many of you women are you are the blind leading the blind. The people you are listening to about money, they themselves don't know what they're doing about money. The people you are listening to about love and relationships, they themselves don't know what they're doing. So it's like the blind leading the blind. But I think I'm done. Let me go and rest my voice. But I hope this live was helpful. I hope the lady that asked me about money management and discipline, I hope this helped you. It's not money you have to manage. It is your mind and your beliefs about money, because there's money flying around. There's money everywhere. There's no shortage of money. It is what you believe about money. It is what you believe about business, about entrepreneurship, about working, about how to invest your money, about what to use your money for, that is stopping you. If you want to know that you are on the wrong path with money, go and look at your bank statements and your bank activity for the last 2 years and look at where your money has been going. If you find out that you haven't used a big chunk of your money as investment, then you're going down the wrong path. If all what you're spending that money on is paying bills, paying your mortgage, paying your car notes, paying bills, paying mortgage, paying car notes, paying college loans, and you haven't used a big chunk of what you're earning to invest in a business, or you don't even have a retirement fund like many of you, that's the easiest and simplest investment you can do. If you're working in a company, go and ask them, do you have a retirement fund that I can sign into? Okay, I started contributing to my retirement fund in my 20s, and like I told you guys now, it's over 7 figures. I won't tell you the exact amount. It's over 7 figures. Even though I'm never going to retire, I don't believe in retirement. I believe in finding your passion, finding what it is you love doing, and then it never feels like work. What I'm doing today, I'm going to continue doing it until God calls me home at 100 years old. I'm going to continue empowering women, empowering girls, empowering handicapped children, because that's another group of people that I have a soft spot for. I hope that one day God will give me the big money to start my center for handicapped and disabled children. But I have my passions and I have my mission. So I'm never going to retire, but at least I know that when I'm 62, I can cash out and have some extra money. That's aside from the other assets I have. So guys, I hope this helped you. Go and do an analysis of the last 2 years. Where has your money been going on? If it's only buying clothes and shoes and wigs and doing hair and doing nails and paying bills, paying mortgage, paying car notes, and you don't see any part of your money where you've invested in a business coach to help you grow, or a life coach to help you grow, somebody to teach you about financial development, you haven't used a big chunk of your money to grow yourself, you are going down the wrong path. You're never going to be able to have the true wealth. You're never going to be able to have passive income, freedom of choice, freedom of time. You're not, because you're spending your money on the rat race. You're spending your money on the rat race. I'm telling you, when I look at my accounts and I see what I spent money on in my 30s and 40s, I'm glad I did that. That's why I'm where I am today. Because if I didn't do that, I would still be in the rat race of earning 150,000 as a pediatrician, working from Monday to Saturday, commuting 2 hours here, 2 hours there, no time for vacation, burnt out, tired, probably gaining weight and getting fat like a lot of doctors are because they don't have time to even eat right or to rest or to sleep. It's a terrible thing, terrible. So go and look at what you've been spending your money on. If you haven't used any of your money to invest in yourself, no wonder you're where you are, which is why 90% of women are tired, stressed out, burnt out, because they don't invest in themselves. They don't. Or everything is, I don't have money, I don't have money. You guys have money for the things you want to have money for, though. But instead of investing in yourself from inside out, you don't. So money management is about managing your mind. It's about investing in your financial development. It's about getting financially literate. It's about educating yourself about how money works. It's about financial empowerment. It's not about money management. It's about other things, because there's no scarcity of money. But you have to train your brain to work for you, and you have to get properly educated from people who know, who have been in business for more than 10 years. You go to people that you admire them, you want to be where they are, and you pay them to help you get there, okay? So I'm out of here. If you're interested in my coaching, My 1 week coaching is $4,000, but that's not going to help you with money and business. Most of the people who buy my 1 week coaching, it's for relationship coaching, dating coaching, marriage coaching, or people who already have really, really good businesses and they just need some advice here and there. If you're somebody who wants me to help you start a business, or you have a business that is not doing well and you need my help, plan for my 8 weeks coaching, because I cannot teach you about money and finances and business in 1 week. It is impossible. My 8 week coaching is $25,000. You don't have money, there are many ways you can raise the money. You can put it on your credit card, you can get a loan, you can finance it somehow. If you want it really badly, you will. And don't tell me you're in Africa, because most of my clients are in African countries. Most of you come to me, but I'm in Africa. Oh, good. I'm glad you're in Africa. I'm very glad you're in Africa, because actually most of the clients who pay me $25,000 are in African countries and in the UK. But I have a few clients in the US, but most of my clients are actually in African countries and in the UK. So many of you in the UK love me, and those of you in Africa love me. So my 8 weeks is $25,000. And if you're somebody who is so interested in just getting up there, you want to elevate, you want to be the best of yourself, then sign up for what I call the Dr. Iyabo MBA program. You sign up for my 6 months program, which is $75,000. And I'm telling you, at the end of that 6 months, you will not even recognize yourself again, because you would have learned so much. Your business will be doing well. You will have a good YouTube channel. You will have written books. You will probably be blogging. Your health will be better. Your relationships will be better. You'll probably have lost weight. My $75,000, my 6 month program is all holistic. I will help you with your entire life, not just your business and money, everything. So if you're interested, you guys know how to find me. Just come to my DM and say, hi, Dr. Iyabo, I'm ready to sign up. But please don't come and ask me for free coaching. If it's a matter of free coaching, don't come to my DM. I don't have any free coaching, and I don't have a payment plan. You pay everything up front before I start coaching you. So if you're looking for a discount, don't waste your time. I don't have any discounts. I don't have any freebies, and I don't have a payment plan. You pay everything up front, and I give you over and above what you paid for. You can go and talk to all of the clients I've coached. I'm very confident with the work that I do. You're free to go and call them and talk to all of them. They will tell me what they have gained from me, okay? So my 1 week is $4,000, my 8 weeks is $25,000, and my 6 months is $75,000. If you want it badly enough, you'll find a way to pay. Love you guys. Be good and learn about money and train your brain to teach you about money. Money is not the problem. There's no scarcity of money. There's no austerity anywhere. There's no inflation anywhere. It's your mind that is deceiving you. And for you to change how your mind helps you, you have to pay somebody that knows in order to help you. Thank you, Nigeria. I love you too. Somebody says we love you from Nigeria. Would love to have a chat. I don't have chats with people. If you want my coaching, you pay. And I think this is a man asking for would love to have a chat. I don't coach men. I only coach women. Okay? My biggest takeaway is knowing there's no scarcity of money. There's no scarcity of money. It is just your mind and what you're teaching your mind to do for you that you have to do. Money management is about managing your mind and your mindset. Exactly. So love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Bye. See you soon. Bye-bye. And the replay will be on YouTube. Please remember, the replay is not going to be on my Instagram. It will be on YouTube. Bye.